Now today we're going to look at column addition. Column addition is the final step in the progression of the different ways in which you can add numbers that you'll be learning in Key Stage 2. But before we go right to the end, we're going to track back a little bit and we're going to look at something called the expanded method first today. And this is going to help us understand exactly how column addition works. So to do the expanded method, what we're going to do is we are going to decompose or partition these two addends using our knowledge of place value. So what is the value of this 3? That's right, 300. What's the value of this 9? Well, it's in the tens column, so 9 tens is 90. What's the value of this 4? It's in the ones column, so it's 4 ones. So 394 is made from 300, add 90, add 4. Okay, can you partition this number for me? What's it made from? Hopefully you said 200, add 30, add 1. So what we've done here is we've taken our two addends and we have decomposed them into, well, a set of addends that make that addend using our knowledge of place value. So what we're going to do now is we're going to do the expanded column method. So the way this works is we line up each set of additions, well, one set above the other, so like this. So 300, add 90, add 4, and then below it we put this decomposed addend, 230 plus 1. Okay. Use a ruler to get this nice and neat. Put our symbol so we don't forget which operation that we're doing. It is really important because sometimes children do forget which operation they're doing, and they do a subtraction when they're meant to be doing an addition, or a multiplication when they're meant to be doing addition. So it is useful to write this down as a reminder and then make sure that this symbol matches the symbol that is in your, well, I suppose in the question that you're given, and then this matches the operation that you actually do. So we start with the column as the smallest value, which is always going to be the furthest to the right. In this case it's our, which column's this? That's right, it's our ones column. So 4 add 1 is 5. Then we've got 90 and 30. Another way of thinking of 90 and 30 is 9 tens add 3 tens. So 9 tens and 3 tens make 12 tens. Now, you know from your place value that we can't get 12 tens into the tens column because, well, 12 tens is 120. So that is made from 100 Sorry, I've just moved that up a little bit so you can see. So it's made from 100 add to 20. Now the 20 we can put into the tens. And then this extra 100 we can write here, and we're going to have to add this 100 into our hundreds column. So what we've done here is we have grouped 10 of our tens into 100. Now we can add this. 300 add 200 is 500, add 100 is 600. So 600 add 20 add 5, well, is 625. So here's my calculation. If we look at this row, which numbers are my addends? That's right, the 600, the 20 and the 5. So which number's the sum? 625. Can you explain to me why I had to regroup or exchange? That's right, we had 90 and 30. The biggest digit we can have in any column is a 9, which we actually already had. And 9 tens and 3 tens is 12 tens, and 12 tens is 120, which is made from 100 and a 20. The 20 we can fit into our tens column, but the 100 has to go into the hundreds column. So we grouped 10 of our tens from the 12 tens and made 100. Hopefully you can see what's going on with our exchanging here, because it becomes a little trickier when we do the compact or simple column addition. So now we're going to do column addition. We've got the same two numbers here, so we'll be able to compare or think back to the method we were doing before. But we're not going to decompose each of the addends this time. We're going to leave the addends in the form that we're given them. So 394 and 231. We're not partitioning them this time. So when we're setting up our column addition, there's something we really must pay attention to, and that is our place value. This is our ones column, our tens column, and our hundreds column. Let's do the same for this number, our ones column, our tens column, and our hundreds column. Now what's really important is that when we line these up into our column addition, the ones line up, the tens line up, and the hundreds line up. Usually we put the largest addend on top. In this case, this is our largest addend. So 394. So we've got our hundreds, we've got our tens, and here we've got our ones. So we're going to add in this addend now into it. So where will this 2 go in this calculation? You're right, the 2 is 200, so it goes under the hundreds. That makes the rest really easy to line up. Don't forget our symbol so we don't forget which operation we're doing. Then we're going to get our ruler, because we're going to keep it nice and neat. Right. And there goes my pen lead. Right. 4 and 1 is 5. Right, here we've got 9 and 3. Now, the biggest digit we can have in any column is, that's right, it's 9. So 9 and 3 is 12. Now 12 looks like this. Hopefully you'll recognise 12. So we can keep the 2. The 2 will fit in our tens column. But here, this 1 is worth 10 tens because we had 12 tens, and 10 tens is 100. So this 1 in the hundreds column would be worth 100, so we can simply put our 1, well, up here or down here. It's up to you where you put it, as long as you pay attention to where you are putting them and what they mean. So now we've got 3 hundreds, add 2 hundreds, add 100, which is 600. So our sum is 625. The first addend was 3 hundreds, 9 tens, and 4 ones, or 394. Our second addend was 2 hundreds, 3 tens, and 1 1, or 231. So the numbers we're going to add are 4,927. That's our first addend. Our second addend is going to be 3,924. Looking at these two numbers, how can we tell that we are going to have to exchange already? What do you notice? Hopefully you noticed that in the ones column we have a 7 and a 4, which make more than 9. And then in the hundreds column we have a 9 and a 9, which also make a sum greater than 9. So let's see what this looks like when we set it out as a column addition. So we need to be really careful to make sure we line our columns up. We should always have place value in the back of our mind. 4927. So I'm just checking that I've actually copied this down accurately, because sometimes you can do a beautiful addition, but you don't actually do the calculation with the right numbers. Okay, so I've done my... Okay, so I've got my ones lined up with my ones, my tens lined up with my tens, my hundreds lined up with my hundreds, and my thousands lined up with thousands. So that's all good so far. So let's go through this then. 7 add 4 is, you can shout this out as you go along with me, 7 add 4 is 11. So that means we've got a 1 in our ones column, and then the 10 out of our 11 now goes into our tens column. So now we've got 2 tens, add 2 tens, which is 4 tens, add 1 10 is 5 tens. Now we have 9 hundreds, add 9 hundreds, so 9 add 9 is 18, which is 18 hundreds. So we can put our 8 from the 18 in here, and then our 10 hundreds make 1,000, so I'll put a 1 in our thousands column. 1 add 4 is 5, so that's 5,000. Add 3 is 8, which is 8,000. So our sum is 8,851. So now we're going to add together these two addends. Can you tell what's different about these addends to the addends we've been adding in the previous steps? That's right, they're both decimal numbers. Both of them have a decimal point. So when we're adding decimal numbers, we need to pay particular attention to lining up our columns correctly. So what is a really good first step is to identify or locate where our ones column is in each number. And our ones column is always going to be one place to the left of the decimal point, or straight to the left. So straight to the left. Now we've identified those two columns, we know which we have to line up. Okay, so I'm going to write my first addend down. Right, so this 3 has to go under the 2, because it's 3 ones under the 2 ones. So must not forget our symbol or our ruler. So what you might also notice is this 4 that's in the thousandths place doesn't have anything written above it. What we can do, just to make that a bit easier, is we can just put a placeholder here, because 0 has exactly the same value as an empty column. So now we always start, when we're doing our addition, as far to the right as we can. That's the smallest value. In this case it's our thousandths column, so 0 thousandths add 4 thousandths is 4 thousandths. 7 thousandths add 2, sorry, not 7 thousandths, 7 hundredths add 2 hundredths is 9 hundredths. 9 tenths add 9 tenths is 18 tenths. So 8 from our 18 goes here. Then the 10 from our 10 tenths makes 1 whole. Our 1 and 8 is our 18. 1 and 2 and 3 make 6. And then if you wanted, you could put a placeholder here. 4 add 0 is 4. So 42.97 add 3.924 sum together to make 46.894.